Good day everyone! In today's video, we're going to tackle about measures of central tendency grouped data. We're going to find a mean, median, and the mode. So here's the data that represents the number of miles run during 1 week for a sample of 20 runners. We're going to use this data to compute the mean, median, and the mode. So let's define first what is mean. Mean, also known as the arithmetic average, is found by adding the values of the data and dividing by the total number of values. To compute the mean, we're going to use this formula. X bar is equal to the summation of the frequency times the class mark divided by n, where f is the frequency of each class, capital X is the class mark of class, summation of the frequency times the class mark is the sum of the product of the frequency and the midpoint, n is the total number of observation, and then the X bar is the sample mean. So we make a frequency distribution table out of the given data. So we have 4 columns, which are the class limit, the frequency, class mark, and the product of frequency and class mark. Now we're going to find first the class mark of each class. To find the class mark, we're going to use this formula. Capital X is equal to the lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. So in this class, the lower class limit is 5 and the upper class limit is 10. So we have 5 plus 10 divided by 2 is equal to 15 divided by 2 is equal to 7.5. Next class, we have 11 plus 16 divided by 2 is equal to 27 divided by 2 is equal to 13.5. Next, we have 17.22 divided by 2 is equal to 39 divided by 2 is equal to 19.5. Next class, we have 23 plus 28 divided by 2 is equal to 51 divided by 2 is equal to 25.5. And last, we have 29 plus 34 divided by 2 is equal to 63 divided by 2 is equal to 31.5. So now let's multiply the frequency and the class mark. So we have 2 times 7.5 is equal to 15. 3 times 13.5 is equal to 40.5. 4 times 19.5 is equal to 78. 6 times 25.5 is equal to 153. And 5 times 31.5 is 94.5. The total number of observation is 20. And then the summation of the frequency times class mark is 381. We're going to substitute the value of the total number of observation and then the summation of the frequency times the class mark. So we have 381 divided by 20 is equal to 19.05. Therefore, the mean of the miles run per week is 19.05. Let's proceed to the median class. The median class is the middle value in a set of quantities. The symbol of the median is MD. To compute the median, we're going to use this formula. MD is equal to the lower boundary of the median class plus the quantity of 1/2 of the total number of observation minus the less than cumulative frequency divided by the frequency of the median class times the class interval or the class width, where LB sub MC is the lower boundary of the median class, less than CF is the cumulative frequency of the lower class next to the median class, frequency of the median class, and then the class interval. So first, we're going to find the lower boundary of each class. What is the lower class boundary? Lower class boundary is found by subtracting 0.5 units from the lower class limit. So the lower class limits are 5, 11, 17, 23, and 29. So we have 5 minus 0.5 is equal to 4.5. 11 minus 0.5 is equal to 10.5. 16.5, 22.5, and 28.5. Now we're going to find the less than cumulative frequency. What is cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency is calculated by adding each frequency from a frequency distribution table to the sum of its predecessors. The last value will always be equal to the total for all observation, since all frequency will already have been added to the previous total. So we have 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, 5 plus 4 is equal to 9, 9 plus 6 is equal to 15, and 15 plus 5 is equal to 20. Now, we're going to find the median class. The median class is the class with the smallest cumulative frequency greater than or equal to the 1/2 of the total frequency. So, median class is equal to n divided by 2 is equal to 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10. So the greater number of 10 is 15. Therefore, the median class is 23 to 28. And then the lower boundary of the median class is equal to 22.5. The less than cumulative frequency next to the median class is 9. And then the frequency of the median class is 6. And then the class interval or the class width is equal to 6. Now let's substitute that to the formula of the median class. We have 22.5 plus the quantity of 10 minus 9 divided by 6 times 6 is equal to 23.5. Last is the mode. The mode is the observation with maximum frequency, and then the mode is the number that appears most frequently in a set of data. To compute the mode, we're going to use this formula. Mode is equal to the lower boundary of the modal class plus the quantity of d sub 1 divided by d sub 1 plus d sub 2 times the class interval, where the LB sub MO is the lower boundary of the modal class, d sub 1 is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next upper class, d sub 2 is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next lower class, and I is the class interval. So what is the modal class? The modal class is the class with highest frequency. So as you can see in the table, that the class with highest frequency is 6, which is the class 23 to 28. And then our lower boundary of modal class is 22.5, since our lower limit is 23 and then we subtract it by 0.5. And then our d sub 1, which is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next upper class, is 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. And our d sub 2, which is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next lower class, is 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. And our class limit interval is equal to 11 minus 5 is equal to 6. Now we're going to substitute that to the formula of mode. So we have 22.5 plus the quantity of 1 divided by 1 plus 2 times 6 is equal to 22.5 plus 1/3 times 6 is equal to 22.5 plus 2 is equal to 24.5. So here is the summary of the measure of central tendency for the group data. So the mean is the sum of values divided by the total number of values or observation. So the symbol is x bar, and the formula is x bar is equal to the summation of the product of the frequency and the class mark divided by n. Our median is the middle point in the data set that has been ordered. And the symbol is MD, and the formula is MD is equal to the lower boundary of the median class plus the quantity of the n divided by 2 minus the less than cumulative frequency divided by the frequency of the median class times the class interval. The mode is the most frequent data value. And the symbol is none. It doesn't have symbol. The formula is mode is equal to the lower boundary of the modal class plus the quantity of d sub 1 divided by d sub 1 plus d sub 2 times I. That's it for our video for today. I hope you learned something. Bye!